today we're going to play a little bit with twists, unwinding through the side and the back body, and also the outer hips. So when we find a little bit of release in the outer hips, often we can twist with a little more sense of ease. We're also going to play with an arm balance today, Parsva Bakasana. So there's that invitation to play and explore in the laboratory of your body instrument. If you like to use blocks, then have those nearby, but otherwise you won't need any props. So we're going to start to get together today seated. So let's begin. We're going to begin seated in Sukhasana, right shin crossed in front of left shin. Center of the shins crossed, feet towards opposite knees if you can, and then we'll just gently ease forward. So arriving in the body with these gentle preparatory movements today. And then we'll gently rise, come upright, lean back, knees bent, toe tips to floor, reach the arms forward. And we're going to press the palms away, fingertips to ceiling here. And you might keep the toe tips on the floor, or you might float the legs into Navasana. If you're floating the legs or have the toe tips on the floor, squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other. And let's add a little twist now. So we'll rotate the torso about 45 degrees to the right, left elbow or left outer upper arm pressing into the outside of the right knee. Take a moment here, lift the chest, feel the lower back just lifting up away from the mat. And then we'll come back to center and release. Left shin in front of right shin, and we'll just ease forward again. Sukhasana, forward fold. An easy, delicious breath here. And then on your next inhale, we'll come upright, and one more time. Lean back, knees bent, toe tips to floor, arms reach forward. Fingertips to ceiling, palms pressing forward, float the legs. Squeeze the legs in toward one another, and let's go the other way this time. So rotating 45 degrees to the left. Right elbow pressing into the outside of the left knee. Left knee pressing back into the right elbow. Come back to center. And then we'll release, cross the ankles, shift forward and step back into your first downward dog of the practice. So because this is a little bit of a shorter practice, we'll be picking up the pace just a little today, but still mindful practice. So in your downward facing dog, we'll have feet about hip width distance, and let's bend the left knee, straighten the right leg here. And then keeping the right leg straight, or as straight as it can be, let's pivot the right toes out about 45 degrees, right heel in and down on the mat. And then swivel the hips and the torso to the right too, looking underneath the right armpit. So sprinkling twists throughout the practice today. Let's come back to downward dog. And right knee forward into single pigeon. Right knee behind right wrist, left leg reaching back behind the left hip. And just stay a moment up on the fingertips. Press the front shin down and create the action of pulling the front shin back on the mat too. And then let's come down onto our left forearm, and we'll do something a little different today. We'll create the letter L shape with our right hand and hook the right thumb right in the right hip crease where the top of the right thigh meets the pelvis. Wrap the right fingers around the outside of the hip and use the thumb to gently draw the right hip back towards the back of your mat as you lift the chest and turn the torso to the right. So just a lovely twisting variation of pigeon pose today. I love this one. And then let's unwind and come back to downward facing dog. And once again, feet about as wide as the hips. And this time, right knee bends, left leg straight. Left toes turn out, 45 degrees. And swivel the hips and the torso to the left. And as you swivel the torso and the pelvis to the left, feeling the top of that left thigh reaching up and back. Okay, let's come back to center and left knee forward into pigeon left. Knee resting on the mat behind the left wrist and right leg long. And if it's not comfortable for the lower back to be up on the fingertips, you're welcome to lean a little further forward on the hands, right? Front shin presses into the mat and gently pulls back. Let's come on to right forearm, and this time hook the left thumb into the left hip crease and use the thumb to just gently anchor the hip down and back towards the back of the mat as you turn the torso to the left. Sometimes we can collapse a little through the torso and then it's very difficult to turn. So press the mat away with the right forearm, lift the chest first and then turn. It'll probably change your experience of this shape. Okay, and we'll come back to down dog. Let's release and step back, downward facing dog. Okay, let's float the right leg up, three-legged dog. And then exhale, right foot steps forward between the hands, runner's lunge. And once again, we'll bring right thumb into right hip crease. Wrap the fingers around the outer hip. And as you draw the right hip back, hug the outer right hip in towards the center line of the mat, using the fingers to remind the outer right hip that rather than swinging out to the side, we can gently draw it into the midline. And then find length through the spine, especially through that left side. And when you're ready, turn and reach the arm. So it's a lunging twist, but we're just taking a little bit of extra time to come in, adding that little extra element of awareness to our twist today. And next exhalation, we'll release, hands to mat, step back, downward dog, and let's move second side, float the left leg up, and left foot steps forward between the hands. Hands might be on blocks here if that's helpful for you. And as you're ready, we'll bring our left thumb into the hip crease, right where the top of the left thigh meets the pelvis. And gently hug the left hip in and draw it back. Almost as though you're drawing the left hip back towards your back heel. Lengthening the torso forward. And when you're ready, gently turning to the left. Left hand can stay where it is or reach fingertips upwards, up to the sky. One more full inhale. And on the exhale, hands to mat and step back to downward facing dog. Lovely. Okay, let's play with one more lunging variation today. So let's float the right leg up. This time, raise the right leg up and turn the right hip up over the left hip, bend the knee, and let the heel drop back. A little twisting variation of three-legged dog. And if it's comfortable for your shoulders, you can allow the torso and the shoulders to just come with you into the twist today. Next inhale, re-straighten the right leg, and exhale, step the right foot forward between the hands, and we'll come all the way up into crescent lunge. Reach the arms when you're ready. Returning to the breath. We'll stay upright now, but just open the arms out wide to the side, like you're a little aeroplane about to take off, to take flight. And stay upright with the head above the ribs, above the pelvis, but bring your attention to your center. And from your center, turn to the right. So still nice and upright with the torso, not leaning forward today here. Really using our rotational center to bring us into the twist. You might stay here or bring left hand to right knee and just shift the gaze back towards those right fingertips. Another in-breath. And on the out-breath, let's unwind hands to mat and step back. Down dog, second side, left leg floats up. Allow that left hip to roll up over the right hip, bend the knee, and let the heel fall. Next in-breath, re-straighten the left leg and step the left foot forward. Coming up into crescent lunge on this side. And as you arrive in the practice, just know that we're building. Our practice is a little bit like stepping stones. As we go through the journey of the movement and the āsana and the poses, we're just slowly building, okay? Creating a tapestry or building upon foundations, perhaps exploring a little further. Open the arms wide, stay upright, and from your center, turning to the left. You might find that you feel like you're not turning as much as you're used to, and it's just because we're staying in this upright position and really using our rotational core actually to bring us into the twist, not using the leverage of the arms and the legs to twist the spine. And then if you want to add that right hand to left knee, you can, and just maybe turn the gaze back beyond the left fingertips. And exhale to release. Hands to mat, step back, downward facing dog. Okay, let's walk the hands back to the feet. Uttanasana at the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, bend the knees, sit the hips back and down, hands to heart center, Utkatasana. A little baby Utkatasana. It doesn't have to be really deep, although it could be if you're feeling that today. Stay as you are. I'll just turn and face you and we'll unwind a little more in the outer hips. So let's start to pour the weight over into the left foot, pick up the right foot, outer right ankle to top of left thigh. Feel free to use the hands to help you to place the ankle, the foot. And then as we sit the hips back and down, we can offer the chest forward. And you might choose to stay here or hold on to something, hold on to the wall or a chair with your left hand. Or you might bring that left thumb right into the left hip crease again and use the thumb to help drive or gently press the left hip back and down as you lean forward. And maybe right fingertips come to the mat even today. Remember, just play, right? Just exploring our body, mind like an instrument. Just exploring, tuning the instrument, seeing what's there today. Hands back to heart center, and we'll release and switch sides. Ooh. Shift the weight into the right foot, pick up the left foot. Take your time to come into this figure 4 shape. Give a little bit of shape to the foot by flexing the toes back towards the shin and hips back and down. Maybe right thumb into hip crease. Gently press the right hip back and down. And the right fingers are a nice reminder to hug that outer right hip in as you draw it back. Often it likes to swing to the side. So we can remember that and maybe bring left hand to floor, or you might bring your left hand onto a block if it's there. bring the hands to prayer again, or Anjali Mudra, release and fold forward over the legs. Uttanasana. Nicely done. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. And let's rise to stand now. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Maybe lift the chest, lean back a little. And hands to heart center as you exhale. So together, let's play a little now with Parsva Bakasana, side crow pose. So step towards the middle of your mat, okay? For me, and you might find this is the same, if I set up for the arm balance with nice awareness and attention, then then the arm balance tends to come together with a lot more ease. So we'll do that today, okay? So let's come down into a squat, knees bent, heels lifted. If for whatever reason you just don't feel like playing with Parsva Bakasana, then you can return to the seated variation that we already did at the beginning of practice. Outer upper arm to outside of knee, or float the legs in Navasana and play with that instead. If you're in the little squat with me, we'll bring the feet together. And actually, we're going to hop ourselves over towards the left side of the mat. So I'm now finding myself with my right foot on the mat and my left foot off the mat, okay? And now we'll turn 45 degrees about to the left. So turning the knees, facing 45 degrees to the left. Keep the knees as they are. But as you turn the chest towards the top of the mat, we bring our hands down onto the mat. And the hands are just like they would be in plank pose or downward dog. They're right next to one another, and the fingers are facing straight forward. So they're not on an angle, facing sideways in a random position. They are next to one another, fingers facing forward, just like you'd have in downward dog. Then, this is a really important part. Lift the hips up. Hips a little higher than the elbows. And don't worry if your outer right knee's not touching your left arm. Mine isn't right now. Okay? And with the hips a little lifted, as you're ready, you'll bend the elbows. Elbows will point straight back, but shift the weight forward. And as you shift your weight forward, the outer right knee will come onto the back of the left arm. And as you shift the weight forward enough, you'll be able to float the legs into side crow. See if you can keep hugging that right elbow in, right elbow pointing back. And then we release. Woohoo! It's been a while since I've practiced Parsva Bakasana, so I was feeling that. Okay, let's play with the second side, shall we? Let's do it. So we'll come and hop over towards the right side of the mat this time. Turn the knees 45 degrees to the right. Feet are pretty close together. Yeah. Okay, keep the knees as they are, but we'll place the hands on the mat, about shoulder width distance, fingers facing forward, hands parallel, right, in line with one another. Return to the breath. Remember, we're just playing, right? I feel like I've seen many people who can do many arm balances and inversions, but doesn't necessarily mean you're any more well or content or at ease or at peace in your life. So this is just play, just playing in the body. When you're ready, lift the hips a little higher than the elbows. And it's really important to shift the weight forward. Think of a pendulum. As you shift the weight forward, your feet will become lighter, and then you'll be able to maybe pick them up. So hips are lifted, and then shift forward. To shift forward, look forward. The elbows will bend a little. Outer left knee to back of right arm, and maybe lift the feet. Woohoo! flying. And we'll release. Let's meet in Uttanasana. If you want to play with that a few times, just hit pause, play, and then join us back in Uttanasana. Forward fold. And from your Uttanasana, just step your way, hands forward, feet back into a downward dog. Last down dog of the practice. And then we'll rock forward, plank pose, and slowly lower onto the belly. Reach the arms alongside the body. Float the arms, the legs, the hands, locust pose. So we just get to enjoy a little bit of scapular, shoulder, upper back, strengthening and stabilization here. And then as we exhale, let's release. Press back to all fours. Slip the feet to one side and come and lay on our backs. Knees bent. Soles of the feet on the mat. And let's enjoy one bridge pose today. Twists and release for the outer hip is a lovely way to prepare for back bend. So let's enjoy bridge. As you're ready, press the feet down and lift the hips up. 5 breaths here. If you'd like to keep the arms reaching alongside you, you can. If you'd like to step the shoulders in underneath you and interlace the hands, enjoy that. One more breath. And then we'll release and slowly lower. Wonderful. Soles of feet together. Allow the knees to drop outward. And if that's not comfortable for your lower back or your hips, then you can just do the opposite. Feet wide, knees falling in toward one another. And let's hold opposite elbows and reach the arms up overhead and just take a moment to soften, allowing the practice to integrate. And if you're able to stay here, then you might stretch the legs out long and rest the arms alongside you for Shavasana. But if it's time for you to sweetly move on into the rest of your day, then we'll release the arms, gently draw the knees toward one another. Slowly roll to a side and sweetly use the hands to press you up away from the mat. And we'll come to sit. Take a moment to maybe lift the hands, fold the palms, or just rest the hands in the lap. Taking a moment to acknowledge your practice. Acknowledge coming to practice and connecting with the body and the breath. And connecting with this curiosity and lightness of being, this playfulness. Playing on the hands a little. Peace, peace, peace. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thanks for practicing all the way to the end. Every practice I offer is possible thanks to the support of my patrons. So if you'd like to continue to support me as well as access full-length practices, meditations and pranayama, then sign up on Patreon. Thanks.